Welcome to our next lecture on the issues surrounding employment interviews. First, let me start with that there is no one-size-fits-all mentality when preparing for a career interview. Within the last 5 to 10 years, employment interviews have changed dramatically in terms of employers' expectations and the hiring practices. Following the 2008 recession, industry leaders realized that they needed to make employment interviews more rigorous if they wanted to spend the money on a valuable candidate for hiring. Nowadays, most human resource departments requires job interview candidates go through stages of employment interviews rather than one main interview itself. Let me make this very clear. This is all contingent on which industry the applicant is pursuing. If an interviewer wants the interview for jobs within different areas or fields, this of course changes. When one applicant is looking to interview for a job for an accounting firm one day and then a social media firm the next day, the expectations and types of interviews will be dramatically different. There are several sequences that must be accomplished before the applicant has the opportunity to explain themselves during the actual main interview. First, most jobs require that the candidate submit a resume outlining their skills and experiences in relation to the specific position in which they're applying for. Second, typically the job candidate will need to submit a cover letter persuading the hiring committee to bring them in for the actual interview. In many ways, this cover letter is considered a writing sample. Then, afterwards, employers will narrow down their search to a few candidates to interview either as a team, a group, or singularly. This changes depending on everything from the amount of money allocated for the job search, time constraints, available space, and even the urgency of filling the specific vacancy. The 21st century has witnessed the introduction of a new wave of job interviewing performed digitally, whether through Skype or through a database management system that video records the candidate's answers. Employers are getting savvier and more technological in how they conduct their interviews over time and space. Some media conglomerates are already doing this in New York City and Los Angeles. NBC is the latest company to ask their applicants to perform superiorly in digital interviews. While nonverbal and linguistic presentation is extremely important in job interviews, students should also be aware of the 21st century vehicles that land them the job interview. If you do not have the resume, the cover letter, and the expressiveness digitally that can provide you with a career interview, you will not even have a chance of getting the job. Job applicants must practice the 3 Ps. That's patience, persistence, and practicality. As we explore job interview expressive tips, keep in mind that it is up to you, the job candidate, to present yourself professionally. You must also create an impact. This is called impact interviewing, coined by career services expert Susan Casson. We'll be embarking on this idea more this week and next week as well. Essentially, how will you make an impact in your job interview?